I love Soho. It's a fascinating place where the rich and poor rub shoulders like in no other part of London. From the exclusive members' bars hidden away behind nondescript doors to the seedy underworld of strip clubs and sex shops, it's got it all. For some reason, on that day, I found myself wandering around the shadier part of town. There I was, minding my own business, when a voice behind me said, "Live show? Fully nude girls?" I stopped, turned around, and through an open doorway I saw a woman sitting behind a counter with flashing lights. "Only £5, darling." I checked my watch. I had an hour to kill. Maybe watching some naked women might be a nice way to pass the time. "Come here, sweetie," she said, beckoning me in. "How old are you, you little cutie?" I cleared my throat and said, "I'm 21. "Well, that's okay. Why don't you come in and we'll give you a nice live show?" She took my hand in hers and pulled herself slightly nearer to me. "Would you like that? Just £5? Before I could say anything, I was loosening the Velcro on my wallet and handing over a crisp £5. She smiled at me and ushered me past the black velvet curtain and down into a dimly lit corridor. "Mind your step there, big boy." We walked past two angry-looking guys who were wearing brightly coloured Kappa tracksuits, and then past 3 or 4 girls who were sitting in the corner in their underwear, talking and taking long drags on cigarettes. We sat down and she asked me what a boy like me was doing wandering around Soho on a day like this. I didn't know what to say. I sort of stumbled and mumbled my words without much of an answer. "Looking for trouble?" she said. Not especially," I answered. I started to feel really uncomfortable and began thinking that it might be a good idea to leave soon. I had an overwhelming sense of something not being right. "Do you want a drink?" one of the nasty-looking blokes in the tracksuits called over. I'm okay, thanks. I'll just, "You've got to have a drink." I paused and he just stared at me. "Just a Coke then, please," I said in a slightly too high-pitched voice. As the man walked away, his shell suit scrunching with every step, Sapphire leant into me and whispered into my ear, "I'm going to go and talk to my friends. You should read the price list before I come back." She walked away, pulling a velvet rope across one side of the booth to the other. Champagne, £1,000. Beer, £500. Wine, £500. And below, right at the bottom of the list, soft drinks, £500. I'd made a huge mistake. I didn't know where I was or what was going on, but I knew I shouldn't be there. I stood up and started trying to undo the rope. It wouldn't give, so I got on my knees and tried to shuffle underneath it. "Where do you think you're going?" asked a broad Mancunian voice. It was the other of the 2 guys I'd passed near the door. I got up off the ground and said as nicely and politely as I could, "I think there's been a mistake. I thought this was... Well, anyway, I'm just going to leave. Don't worry about the £5." At that moment, he grabbed my coat by the lapels and pushed me back into the corner. "Don't worry about the £5. Are you having a laugh? You owe me 500 quid, you cheeky bastard." I was shaking so much that I could barely breathe, let alone speak. He still had hold of me and, as he leant his face in to get up close and personal, I could see that he had a tattoo on his neck and his eyebrow was pierced. His breath wasn't great either. "Leave him be, Danny," said Sapphire, trying to help me. "He's only young." He put me down, but only so he could push his elbow up against my chest. I didn't know what he was going to do, but I felt as if he was shaping up to hit me. With a whimper, I closed my eyes, clenched my jaw, and waited for the punch. Instead, I felt his hand rummaging around in my pocket, and opened my eyes to see him pulling my wallet out of my jacket. "So how much you got in here?" he said, pulling the Velcro open while still pinning me to the wall. I tried to remember. "About 20 quid, I think." "Well then, my friend, we're going to have to take a little trip to the cash point." I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe what was happening. I had a call back for a massive TV show in 40 minutes. I haven't got any money in the bank," I said, clutching at straws. "You what?" the geezer said again, applying more pressure to my chest. "I haven't got any money." I then, pretty remarkably, given the circumstances, had a brainwave. "Lie." "I'm not 21 either. I'm only 17. I'm from Wickham. I've come to London for the day with my dad, but he's in a meeting. He's a loaded businessman. He'll give me the money and I'll bring it back." I was literally saying whatever entered my head. Sapphire looked at Danny. That's what he told me, Danny, she said. His daddy's loaded, but he's left him to wander the streets on his own. That was unexpected. I couldn't believe she was trying to help me. I promise I'll get you the money. I'll just tell him I need it for some trainers. He'll give it to me, I promise. Suddenly, Danny let out a scream. This is bullshit! He grabbed me again and slammed me back into the wall. Danny, stop it! Shouted Sapphire. I swear to God, I thought I was going to cry. He emptied out my wallet and put all the cash I had, coins and everything, in his pocket. I had a picture of me and Shelley in there, which he ripped out and waved in my face. Is this your girlfriend, is it? What would she say if she knew you were in here trying to pay for sex? Eh? I didn't think I was paying for sex. In fact, that was the first time that sex had been mentioned. I thought this was a striptease show, that's all. I don't want to pay for sex. Please, I just want to get out of here. I've said I'll give you the money. Please just let me go. My bottom lip was quivering. Amazingly, he then took a Blockbuster video card out and held it up to me. I'm going to keep this card, and if you don't come back with the money, I'm going to find you and kill you, do you understand? Get out of here, now. And he let down his elbow and threw my wallet at me. I got down on my hands and knees and started scooping up the cards and receipts that had fallen on the floor, then ran out of there as fast as I could.